Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be doing an 8-week bump date. I am exactly 8 weeks today that I am filming this, and I am just so happy that I've made it this far, and so far everything is going great. I think this video will be shorter than my first bump date because I do have a lot to update on, but not nearly as much as my first bump date, where I was kind of going very in depth with all of the symptoms that I have experienced and the whole story with my lab work and scheduling that extra ultrasound, which I will talk about the 2 ultrasounds that I've had so far. If you haven't watched any of my bump dates yet, my format is that I start off talking about the different symptoms that I've experienced, then I go into any doctor's visits that I've had, and then I go into things that I've gotten either for pregnancy or for the baby that I've bought or have been given to me, and the last thing I do is I show you my belly. So to start off, the baby is the size now of a kidney bean, which is roughly about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch from crown to rump, and weighs approximately like 0.04 of an ounce. So very, very tiny still, but much bigger than it was 2 weeks ago when it was the size of a lentil. Symptoms that I have been having the past couple of weeks. I haven't had any new symptoms come up yet, but some of the symptoms that I've had have increased in intensity. Fatigue has definitely increased. I am tired a lot of the time, and sometimes I just want to sleep all day. There was one day that I ended up sleeping until like 1 p.m. I was in bed for so long because I was just so tired. My nausea and morning sickness have increased, definitely feeling more sick, and I've thrown up a few times, but I wouldn't say that it's horrible. Like, I'm not throwing up constantly, but I am feeling nauseous whenever I am hungry. So what I really try to do is I try to eat little bits throughout the day just to help with the nausea. But I have to be careful because if I eat too much, I also feel nauseous. So it has to be like a happy medium. My cramping has gotten a little bit worse. It's still very mild, but I believe it is from just my uterus stretching and the baby getting bigger. My food aversions have increased. There have been some times where I just don't feel like eating anything at all. But one new aversion that I've had is chicken, and I love chicken so much. So that aversion was definitely strange for me. I am able to stomach chicken if it's like cut up and like mixed in with like pasta and sauce or something. That's when it's tolerable for me. But when it's just like a big chicken breast, just the thought of it, I don't like that. Those are the only ones that have really increased. Most of my other symptoms, like my bloating, pregnancy brain, etc., have pretty much just stayed the same. Now we're going to go into my doctor's visits, which is the fun part. Since I last updated, I've had 2 more doctor's visits. They were both ultrasounds because I had had some spotting, which I was very cautious about, so I called my doctor. It's a whole thing, but they had me do lab work and had me do an extra ultrasound. So I had the first one at 6 weeks, and I do have some pictures to show you. These are my 6-week ultrasound pictures. As you can see, baby is very, very tiny, and you can't really see that much detail at all. You just basically see a little smudge. That's basically all we saw at the 6-week ultrasound, was that little smudge and then the flickering of the heartbeat. But it was so cool. It was like one of my favorite things ever was having the ultrasound. They also tried to measure the heartbeat, which was kind of hard to do that early, but they were able to get it, and it was at 105 beats per minute, which is pretty normal at that stage. For it to be between like 90 and 110 because the heart is still learning how to beat. But they still wanted to follow up with another ultrasound just to make sure that the heart was developed properly. So I had another ultrasound yesterday, so just before I turned 8 weeks, and I have pictures for that. So here are a couple of the pictures from my 8-week ultrasound. You can definitely see the difference in the size and the development of the baby. Like, you can actually see that there's a head, you can see some arms. That circle that's above the head is the yolk sac. The second one was quicker because I had already had my confirmation one. So this one was a little bit quicker, and it was basically just to make sure baby was growing and that the heartbeat had developed. The heartbeat at that point was 159 beats per minute, which is good. And they said it was a very strong fetal heartbeat. So I was reassured again after that. So everything is going very well. My next appointment is in another couple of weeks. It is my actual first prenatal appointment with my doctor. And I am also going to get some more lab work done, which I don't really know what it is. I've had my blood type one already, so I know I won't have to do that again. But I think it's mainly to be screening for infections and making sure that I have enough iron. I don't really know exactly what they're looking for, but I will find out when I have my prenatal appointment. Next, I will show you what I have gotten in the past couple of weeks for the pregnancy or the baby, and it's really not a lot this time. One thing I did get was my bump box, and I made a whole separate video on that, but I do want to show you one product from that that has been the most useful for me, and that is the morning sickness nausea relief drops. The first time I took it, I was at work. I had brought these just in case, and I took one at work because I was feeling kind of nauseous, and like night and day, like I felt fine. It was amazing. They don't always work, but they work most of the time for me when I'm nauseous and can't stomach anything. The next thing I got was my first pair of maternity pants. So I got these. They've got the band, and they're just a pair of jeans. So that way I have some pants to wear at work when my old pants don't fit me anymore. I still have a couple pairs of pants that have like an elastic that fit me just fine, but I know eventually I'm not going to be able to wear regular pants anymore, so I now have a pair of maternity pants, and these were only like $5, so I figured I'd snag them. We have also been going through, well, our parents have been going through their old things that they have, and we're just kind of seeing what they have to see if we can reuse anything to save money. We haven't really picked out anything except for my mom has a stroller that she had kept, so we are for sure going to be using that. We're just kind of getting an idea as far as what they have, and eventually we will put together a registry for everything else that we're gonna need. So that is really it for this bump date, so I'm gonna end with showing you my belly. Alright, so I don't think there's really been any growth at all. So I will show you. Like, there's just a little bit of bloating, but I don't think it's really changed from 2 weeks ago. Eventually there'll be more of a change. I am going to start taking belly bump pictures starting today because I have some bump stickers that I also got in my bump box, and I'm going to use those. The first one starts at 8 weeks, and I think that would be a good time to start because my body still kind of looks normal, and I definitely want to take pictures to kind of see the progression as I get bigger. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give this video a like, and be sure that you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any new videos from me. I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye!